Hi, in this video we are going to learn about the blood components and their functions. Blood is a connective tissue. Like all other connective tissues, it is made up of cellular elements and extracellular matrix. The cellular elements referred to as formed elements includes WBCs, RBCs and platelets. The cellular matrix is called as plasma, makes blood unique among connective tissue because it is fluid. This fluid, which is mostly water, perpetually suspends the formed elements and enable them to circulate throughout the body within cardiovascular system. What are the functions of blood? The primary function of a blood is to deliver oxygen and nutrient to and remove waste from the body cells. The specific functions of blood also includes defense or protection, distribution of heat and maintenance of homeostasis. Coming to the transportation function of a blood, where blood transports oxygen from the lungs to the cells of the body and carbon dioxide from the body to the lungs for exhalation. It also carries nutrients from the gastrointestinal tract to the body cells and hormones from the endocrine glands to the other body cells. Blood also transports heat and waste products to various organs for elimination from the body. Now, what are the regulatory function of a blood? The circulating blood helps maintain homeostasis of all body fluids. Blood helps regulate pH through the use of buffers. It also helps adjust body temperature through the heat absorbing and coolant properties of water in the blood plasma, and its variable rate of flow through the skin, where excess of heat can be lost from the blood to the environment. Protection. So, blood can clot, which protect against its loss from the cardiovascular system after an injury. In addition, the WBCs protect against diseases carrying on phagocytosis. So, several types of blood proteins including antibodies, interferons and complements help protect against diseases in variety of ways. Now, let us see the characteristics of blood. Blood is denser and more viscous than water and feels little sticky. The temperature of a blood is 38 degrees Celsius, about 1 degree higher than the oral and rectal temperature, and it is slightly alkaline with pH ranging from 7.5 to 7.4. So, blood constitute about 20% of extracellular fluid amounting to 8% of total body mass. So, the blood volume is around 5 to 6 liter in an average size adult male and 4 to 5 liters in an average sized female. So, what are the compositions of blood? Spinning the blood sample in a centrifuge, a process that causes the heavier elements settle down within the blood samples to separate from the lightweight liquid plasma. Because the heavier elements in the blood are erythrocytes, these settles at the bottom, and above the erythrocytes there is a layer composed of remaining formed blood cells. So, these are WBCs or leukocytes and platelets. So, this layer is referred to as buffy coat because of its color, and it normally constitute less than 1% of the blood sample. Above the buffy coat is the blood plasma, which is a pale straw colored fluid which constitute remainder of the sample. So, hematocrit is the measure of percentage of RBCs in the blood. The volume of erythrocytes after the centrifugation is also commonly referred to as packed cell volume, PCV. In normal blood, about 45% of the samples is erythrocytes. So, hematocrit of any one sample can vary significantly. However, 36 to 50% according to the gender and other factors. Normal hematocrit values for female ranges from 37 to 47% with mean value of 41%. For male, the hematocrit percentage is 42% to 52% with the mean of 47%. So, in anemia, the hematocrit value decreases to 30%, whereas in polycythemia, the hematocrit increases to 70%. Now, let us see the components of blood. Blood has two components mainly, blood plasma and formed elements. So, blood plasma is a watery liquid extracellular matrix that contains dissolved substances, whereas formed elements are the cells and cell fragments. So, blood is about 45% formed elements and 55% blood plasma. So, the blood plasma is about 92% water and 7% proteins, 1% other solutes. These proteins play a key role in maintaining the proper blood osmotic pressure, which is an important factor in the exchange of fluids across capillary walls. Hepatocytes synthesize most of the plasma proteins, which includes albumin, globulins, fibrinogen and prothrombins. So, albumin is the smallest and most numerous protein of the plasma. It function as the transport protein for several steroid hormones and fatty acids. Globulins are produced by plasma cells and liver, which are developed from the B cells, B lymphocytes. So, globulins are antibodies. Immunoglobulins help attack viruses and bacteria. Fibrinogen produced by liver plays essential role in blood clotting. Prothrombins are one of the blood clotting factor synthesized by the liver. Now, besides this protein, there are other solutes in the plasma, which includes ions or electrolytes, nutrients, regulatory substances such as enzymes and hormones, gases and waste products such as urea, uric acid, creatinine, ammonia and bilirubin. Formed elements. These formed elements of the blood include three principal components. These are RBCs or erythrocytes, WBCs or leukocytes and platelets. So, erythrocytes and leukocytes are whole cells, whereas platelets are the cell fragments. Erythrocytes and platelets have just few roles, but leukocytes have a number of specific or specialized functions. Several distinct type of leukocytes are neutrophils, lymphocytes, monocytes, eosinophils and basophils. So, let us see in detail about the formed elements. So, these formed elements are red blood cells or erythrocytes, white blood cells or leukocytes. So, white blood cells are unique. Unlike RBCs, WBCs have nucleus and do not contain hemoglobin. So, WBCs are classified either as granular leukocytes or agranular leukocytes, depending upon whether they contain chemically filled cytoplasmic granules or vesicle that are made visible by staining. Granular leukocytes include neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils, whereas agranular leukocytes contain lymphocytes and monocytes. So, let us discuss about the RBCs in detail. So, RBCs are biconcave disc with a diameter of 7 to 8 micrometer. Mature RBC have a simple structure. Their plasma membrane is both strong and flexible, and that allows them to deform without being ruptured as they squeeze through narrow capillaries. And their plasma membrane contains glycoproteins and glycolipids, which are antigens that account for various blood groups such as ABO and RH blood groups. So, RBCs lack nucleus and other organelles and can neither reproduce nor carry out extensive metabolic activities. The cytosol of RBC contain hemoglobin molecules. These are important molecules and are synthesized before the loss of nucleus during RBC production and constitute about 33% of the cell's weight. RBCs live up about 120 days. So, that is about RBC. Now, let us see about white blood cells or leukocytes. So, the granular leukocytes consist of neutrophils, eosinophils and basophils. So, the granular leukocytes, after staining, each of these three types of the granular leukocyte display granules with the distinctive coloration and that can be recognized under light microscope. Eosinophil contain large uniform sized granules which are eosinophilic. They stain red orange with acidic dye and the granules usually do not cover the nucleus. So, the nucleus has two lobes connected by a thick strand of chromatin. Each eosinophil leaves the capillary and enters the tissue fluid. They are believed to release enzymes such as histaminase that combat the effect of histamine and other allergic substances involved in the inflammation during allergic reaction. Eosinophils also phagocytize antigen antibody complexes and are effective against certain parasitic worms. A high eosinophil count often indicate allergic response, allergic condition or parasitic infection. Basophils have a round variable sized granules which are basophilic. They stain blue purple with basic dye. The granules commonly obscure the nucleus which has two lobes. At the site of the inflammation, basophil leaves the capillaries, enters the tissue and releases the granules that contains histamine, heparin and serotonin. So, these substances intensify the inflammatory reaction and are involved in the hypersensitivity reactions. Neutrophils are the highest among the WBCs. So, the granules of a neutrophil are smaller, evenly distributed and they have a pale color. So, the nucleus has 2 to 5 lobes connected by thin strands of chromatin. The neutrophils and the macrophages are active in phagocytosis. They can ingest bacteria and dispose the dead mature cells. Several different chemicals released by microbes and inflame tissues attract these phagocytes. So, neutrophils respond most quickly to the tissue destruction by bacteria after engulfing a pathogen. During phagocytosis, neutrophils unleash several chemicals to destroy the pathogens. These chemicals includes enzymes, lysosomes which destroys certain bacteria, and strong oxidants such as superoxide anions, hydrogen peroxides and hypochlorite anions. Neutrophils also contain defensin, which is a protein that exhibit broad range of antibiotic activity against bacteria and fungi. So, that was about the granular leukocytes. Now, let us focus on the agranular leukocytes. Even though so called agranular leukocyte possess cytoplasmic granules, these granules do not visible under light microscope because they are very small and poor staining and they have poor staining qualities. So, lymphocytes, the nucleus of the lymphocyte is a round and slightly indented and stains darkly. Lymphocytes are classified as small or large depending upon the size. So, depending upon the cell diameter. So, 6 to 9 micrometer is the small lymphocyte, whereas 10 to 14 micrometer in diameter is a large lymphocyte. There are 3 main types of lymphocytes. These are B lymphocytes, T cells, B cells, T cells and natural killer cells. B cells are particularly effective in destroying the bacteria and inactivating their toxins. T cells attack viruses, fungi, transplanted cells, cancer cells and some bacteria and are responsible for transfusion reactions, allergic and other rejections of the transplanted organs. Immune responses carried out by B cells and T cells help combat infections and provide protections against some diseases. Natural killer cells attack wide variety of infectious microbes and certain spontaneously arising tumor cells. Monocytes have a diameter of 12 to 20 micrometer. The nucleus of a monocyte is usually kidney shaped or horseshoe shaped. The blood transports monocytes from the blood into the tissues where they enlarge and differentiate into macrophages. So, some becomes fixed macrophages, which means they reside in the particular tissue. For example, alveolar macrophages in the lungs, macrophages in the spleen, and Kupffer cells in the liver. Others become wandering macrophages, which roam the tissues and gather at the site of inflammation or infection. So, monocytes take a longer to reach the site of infection than do neutrophils, but they arrive in large numbers and destroy more microbes upon arrival. So, upon arrival they enlarge and differentiate into wandering macrophages, which clean up the cellular debris and microbes by phagocytosis after an infection. So, now let us see the platelets. So, these platelets breaks off from the megakaryocyte in the red bone marrow and then enters the blood circulation. So, what are these megakaryocytes? These are huge cells that splinter into 2000 to 3000 fragments. So, each fragment is enclosed by a piece of plasma membrane, and there are between, so this each disc shaped fragment is around 2 to 4 micrometer in diameter and has many vesicles with no nucleus. So, platelet helps stop blood loss from damaged blood vessels by forming platelet plaque, and the granules also contain chemicals that once released promotes the blood clotting. Platelets have short lifespan, which is about 5 to 9 days. And now let us see the significance of high and low WBC count. So, as we have already learned, an increase in the number of circulating WBC usually indicate inflammation or infection. Differential WBC count gives a count of each of the 5 types of WBCs. To detect infection or inflammation, determine the effect of possible poisoning by chemical or drugs, and to monitor blood disorders and the effects of chemotherapy, or also to detect allergic reactions or parasitic reactions. Because each type of WBC play a different role, determining the percentage of each type in the blood assists the diagnosing the condition. For example, neutrophils increases during bacterial infection, whereas they decreases during radiation exposure or drug toxicity. Lymphocyte, the number goes high when there is a viral infection, and due to prolonged illness the number goes down. So, monocytes percentage goes up when there is a viral or fungal infection, and the number goes down when there is a bone marrow suppression or treatment with cortisols. Eosinophil goes up when there is a allergic reaction or parasitic infection, and their count goes down when there is a drug toxicity or stress. Basophil increases in their number when there is a allergic reaction or cancer, but the number goes down when there is a pregnancy, ovulation or stress. So, this is all about blood components and their functions. Thank you.